You can turn on the camera. So welcome. Okay, welcome everyone. So this is plan 258, transportation planning, analysis and technique. Okay. So I hope you have access to Moodle by this time, and this course syllabus is also available in Moodle. Okay. And I think all the material for this semester is already partially available there also. Okay. So this is the class and consultation hour. So my name is Kardi Teknomo. Okay. So I'm the lecturer for this course. Okay. So this is my email, and if you want to email me, you can put in the subject plan 258, and then what is the name. Right now I'm in Indonesia, so okay. Yes. You can see this is the WhatsApp number and the Viber, so you can contact me through WhatsApp, Viber, Facebook, or LinkedIn. Okay, so you can. This is the class schedule today. It's Friday, 6 to 9 Philippine times. Yeah. So when you contact me, so please expect a maximum of 24 hours of delay. Okay. So I will not answer you immediately, but I promise you to answer within 24 hours. Okay. At the same time, you can contact me anytime, meaning even 12 midnight, no problem. Okay. Okay. So this course, okay, will explore quantitative analysis method, yeah, and advanced analytical technique in decision making for transportation planning. Okay. So it emphasizes the use of mathematical model, formulas, and tools to analyze scenario, risk, and uncertainty, okay, in financial and economic context. Okay, so the key topics in this course, you will learn about decision making, financial economic analysis, and advanced analytical technique. Okay, so of course, I hope you can, through this course, you can understand broadly, okay, about financial and economic evaluation, okay, about any decision methodologies, including game theory, risk analysis, queuing theory, ideal flow network, Markov chain theory, and Markov decision process. So, okay, this is my plan. Okay, so the course will equip you with comprehensive understanding of this method and to evaluate and influence transportation planning effectively. So this is the goal. Okay, so and this is the course objective. Yeah, so just three. Okay, first is to evaluate transportation decision using financial analysis, sensitivity analysis, economic evaluation, and then you should be able to formulate transportation strategies. Okay, using what is called MCDM, multi-criteria decision making, okay, decision theory, risk analysis, game theory, queuing theory, and some complex transportation scenario, and then to apply certain analytical technique, including Markov chain, IFN, and then MDP, Markov decision process. So with this, the course is an output based. That means you must be very active in this course. Okay, our goal is to create a published paper, a report with maybe code or analysis. Okay, you will do a simulation, case study, scenario comparison by contrasting several scenarios, and then create certain novelty. I hope your paper in this course will be unique and original. Okay. Yes, you can use AI to do to help you to get the result. Okay, but you should not just rely on AI. Okay, because if you just use AI for this, you will not pass the course, of course. Yeah. So these are the topics. Okay. So today we talk about transportation, decision making, and prioritization. Okay, especially using knapsack. Okay, and then maybe next week we start with financial analysis. Yeah? And then the economic analysis, decision table, sensitivity analysis, scenario analysis, and then PP. Yeah. I believe some of this you already know. Okay. And then we go deeper into decision theory. The green part is decision theory. Okay, so we start with multi-criteria decision making. We discuss about uncertainty, risk analysis, value at risk, utility theory, and then AHP, analytic hierarchy process, Brown Gibson, and Brown Riverson. Okay, after that we go to group decision using Delphi method, consensus, arrow, and then voting. So this is voting is very important also for checking the power in the election. So and then we go to game theory, okay? Zero-sum games, non-zero-sum game, threat, trust, and how to control the system. Okay, and we discussed a little bit about queuing theory, yeah, deterministic and stochastic, and how to do management on queuing theory. And then on the advanced topic, okay, I would like to touch a little bit on maximum entropy, okay, Markov chain, ideal full network, and Markov decision process. Yeah. So this is my plan. So, but you can suggest if is there anything that you think this is already, well, I know all of this, okay, or I don't need this, then we can change based on your suggestion. Okay. Any comments on the topics? And this is the UP grading system. I hope this is correct already. And then here is the reference. Okay, we can add more later. Yeah. Basically, this course is about engineering economics and decision making process. So, and then okay, so the course requirement when you on time present, okay, you can claim 2% of the mark. Okay, so and then your claim on our discussion will be on the recitation. So total here is 10%. Okay, this is your own claim. Okay. And then group project will be 25%. The paper 25%. So this is basically the same thing. Okay, so 50% is for group project and the paper. Okay, so my part, uh, which is multiple choice quizzes, assignment, midterm, and finals. Okay, total will be only 40, 10, 10, and 20. Is this okay with you, or is there any change that you want? Okay, huh? Next, okay, so during the class, okay, you will behave as consultant, okay, but when some student present, you can play, okay, as government, as media, as educator, or as a consultant or contractor. Okay, so that we can have more lively discussion in the class. Okay, so I hope you can do a role play in this class, okay? Not just one way from me, okay, but uh, I'm hoping a lively discussion with you. Okay, so in each meeting, we'll do it on time. So if you are late, you cannot claim the 2% recitation. Okay, and please open camera during each meeting. This is ethic, no? So that we can see the expression of each of us. Okay, And you can close the mic, okay, and open the mic only when you speak, okay, and then so that will not have a noise. And then each meeting, uh, please be active in discussion. Okay, you can share your knowledge, you can share your experience. Yeah, you can also give suggestion, you can give critics, even to me, no problem. To other groups, also based on your role. Okay. Next, when you are raise critical question, okay, answer some question, give comments or suggestion, okay, so you can claim, okay, each question is 1 point, yeah, each suggestion is 1 point, so maximum 10 points in a week. So if you talk a lot, okay, during this class, more than 10 points, maximum is 10, okay, but if less than 10, you can claim whatever it is, okay. So my goal is to encourage discussion within the class. So if we discuss assignment, if we discuss the case study, okay, if anyone of you present in the group, so please ask question or raise critical question, okay, gives comment and suggestion. Okay, and at the end of the semester, okay, the total claim, the maximum total claim will be 100 for the recitation. We will normalize. So if one of you claim like say 70, okay, and other student claim only 7, that means the one who claims 7 will get only 10 for the recitation. The one that claims 70 will get 100. Okay, so it's a competition base in the class. Okay, next, how to claim? You go to Moodle. Okay, on the top in Moodle, you can see a recitation there, and then you can claim every week. Okay, so put the date, okay, put your question, put your suggestion, okay, one point, bullet point is 1, okay, and then don't forget, okay, to submit it right after the class so that we can check, I can check within the week, okay, for the next week, and then you can put the total recitation point on the top, yeah, the total, the sum, all your claim must be on the top. So otherwise, I need to calculate everything. That is inconvenient. Yeah? So you just put the total recitation point, and the claim that you put, that is the grade that I will set in Moodle. Is that okay? Yeah. So we still have traditional quizzes and assignment. Okay. So the design is to make the preparation, okay, before the class, okay, or review of the previous class, okay. So usually practice on problem solving assignment, okay, and then the quizzes and assignment, the percentage is very small. So okay, we have like how much a while ago, 10%, isn't it? Yeah. So 10% only, okay, but we divide by many. Okay. So and then the weight of each quiz and assignment is not the same. Okay, so it carry what is called Fibonacci weight system. That means the first assignment is weight 1, the second assignment again weight 1, the third assignment with 1 plus 1 become 2. Okay, the fourth assignment is 1 plus 2 become 3. And then the next one is 2 plus 3 become 5. Okay, and then 5 plus 3 become 8. So that means the last assignment, okay, carry largest weight. Okay. So that also means that if you did not do the first assignment, no problem. But if you did not do the last assignment, you are in trouble. Okay. So my purpose is to encourage you to do independent study, yeah, through this system. Okay. So the largest part of the grading, okay, about 50%, 25% for paper, 25% for the project, Okay, this is basically the goal is to write the paper and publish. Okay, so question is how to decide and prioritize the transport project scenario. Okay, by analyzing and optimizing real world problem for individual or team. This is all decision making. Okay, so in this case, you need to use a quantitative analysis method, including financial and economic evaluation. Okay, and you can add either individual, this is all supposed to be, and group decision making, game theory, decision theory, risk analysis, queuing theory, and the rest of this, including IFM, Markov chain, MDP, and max entropy. Okay, you can use any software, including just spreadsheet is fine for the implementation. So, okay, so these are the steps. You from today you select the case study of your choice. Okay, then you collect data. Okay, and then after that you create mathematical model, okay, for at least 2 alternative scenario. Okay? And then for transportation plan, of course, and then you propose the strategy games for the transport planning. Okay, and then you select a decision making process so that you can gain some consensus. Okay? Okay. After that, you formulate the optimization model and analyze the solution. Yeah? And based on the data, you can calibrate using the real world data, or if you cannot get the data, you can use any realistic assumption, if your data is not available. Okay. Next, you do evaluation, financial, cash flow analysis, economic feasibility, do some sensitivity analysis, and perform some numerical experiment through scenario simulation. Okay, so do what if analysis of several scenario policies. After that, you write the report, and then you define the report in 4 workshops, and then summarize all of this into a paper. Is that clear or not? Quite a lot. Any comment, question? Okay. So you are already used to with this kind of things, right? Okay, so for the scenario creation, I hope you can develop minimum 3 transportation scenario that address specific transportation challenge or need. Okay, and then this scenario should vary in terms of infrastructure, mode transportation, or other relevant factors. Okay, and then each scenario should be well defined, supported by appropriate justification. Justification means probably economic analysis or financial analysis or environmental analysis. And then you do data collection. Okay, you gather the relevant data for each scenario. Okay, so for example, information on the cost, demand, travel time, environmental impact. Okay, and then you analyze and then interpret this data. Okay, using the analytical technique that you learn in the class. Okay, for example, financial analysis, scientific analysis, economic evaluation. Okay, and then you do comparison. Comparison between all these analysis, and then you compare, for example, different scenario, transportation scenario, okay, based on economic and financial viability. Okay, so you assess the cost, you assess the benefit, you assess the risk. Okay, and then for each scenario, okay, and then you generate the investment requirement, revenue, and then return of investment. After that, okay, you need to apply decision theory, game theory, and so on, to make decision, to analyze the what is the strategy. Okay, not just the financial analysis. You need to create also the strategy. How to implement this strategically. Okay, how to optimize the outcome. Okay, and then of course you present your finding, okay, recommendation to the class. So you can highlight the strength and weakness of each transport scenario. Okay, and of course you provide evidence okay, for justification, okay, based on analytical aspect of the scenario, yeah, including financial and economic. Okay. So, yes, Angelo.
Good evening. I would just like to ask if in the economic analysis we will uh, learn more on uh, about the perception of users and inject them in the economic analysis, like willingness to pay surveys for tolled roads or uh, something like that for tolled roads.
Okay, you want to learn WTP, what willingness to pay. Oh, I can add that. Yeah, no problem. You can also add that in your project and then share with others. Right. So yes, I have materials on that. Wait, we call it CVM. Yeah, I have a we call it a contingency valuation method, CVM. Okay, I can add that in the material there. Okay. Okay. Thank you, Angelo. Any other comments, suggestion, probably? Yeah, this is the CVM. And this is based on willingness to pay. Can you see? Yeah, so WTP, right? Yeah, we can discuss this. No? So this is my project last time when I was in Japan. Okay. Okay, so I can add this later in Moodle. Okay, and can discuss during the class also. If you have a similar project, so you can share with us. Okay. Okay. Next, where are we? So, grouping. Okay. For the project and paper, is it okay? Maximum 3 students? Hmm. Grouping should be more than one actually, right? But so you can select your own group mate. Okay. So, but you submit it today, this week. Okay. So that once you submit it, please don't fight among your group mate. Okay. So I start to create a round revision system. Okay, here. So yes, nothing. Cool, cool. Nothing. You can say. Go ahead, Tsunafi. I cannot hear you.
Sir, is it possible if I can work alone or if we can work alone? I'm currently based in Iloilo and I may not be able to like probably meet up with people
Uh,
in our class.
we are in online anyway. Why don't you
Hmm.
start to find group mates?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So I think with this kind of project that you need, the expectation is very big. Okay. I'm
Yeah.
sure you can do it alone. That's my question. You know,
Okay.
the data collection, the analysis, economic analysis, financial economic analysis alone is quite big. And then you need at
Yeah.
least a scenario. And then after that, you still need to do the game theory, strategic, and so on. That's probably quite large for you if you do it alone. But if you think that you can do it alone, that's fine. I'm just worried if you don't delegate, that will make you feel so bad.
Okay, sir. Thank you.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, alone is allowed, but again, this is 1, 2, 3. Yeah, maximum. Yeah. But better you fill up 3. Okay. I'm just telling you, based on experience, this is very big. The project is really big. And that's why 50%. See? Okay. I know some of you may have a problematic in if doing in a team, but this is a way to do if you are in working in transportation sector. Okay. So this is a system that you can use. Okay. What is called round revision system. So each member in the team must show the work in the tracking review, and then you do many round revision. Okay. So and then each submission of the milestone, you have 4 milestones, right? You need to submit the MS Word document proving that each member is working with the tracking review intact. Okay. That means containing the name each member and working on the paper. And then before making the next revision, you restart tracking review by accepting all the revision. So I will explain this. Okay, so let me give you an example. Example. Oh, who is that? So, are you familiar with tracking review in documents? Yeah, I will just give you an example in this document a while ago. Okay, so this is an example of documents. Can you see in Word, right? Okay, and if you go here on the top in the menu, there is a review here. Here, this is tracking review. Can you see? So when you click this, then any change here. So let me give example. So for example, I put comma here, right? Okay, and I put whatever it is. Yeah. Okay, so you can see when I show all markup, that means when whatever markup I put here will be inserted by who, by what time. Can you see this? It will be shown. Okay, this is the tracking review is on. Okay, so once you finish submitting for each milestone, so you have 4 milestones. For after you finish submitting, you accept everything there or accept all change and stop tracking. Okay. When you submit, you need to show me the document that you send must contain the tracking review, so that I will know who contributed to the paper. Okay, and I will know whether you just copy and paste from somewhere else, because this tracking review will show how you actually change the document. Is this clear or not? So say you have 3 members, okay? Let's name it A, B, C, okay? So then you do a create round revision, okay? So you start with the first person, okay? Doing round revision A, okay? Will person A will do the revision first, okay? And then you go to person B, send by email to person B. Okay, then person B is version 2, right? And then go to version C, person 3, that means version 3, right? And then come back to A again, because 3%, right? So that's version 4. Okay, go back to person B, that version 5. Go back to version person C, that's version 6. And then after, for example, after version 6, you send to me, that means version 6 is the one that you send to me. Or version 9 that you will send to me, because 3%, right? Is that clear or not? So you do round revision, okay? Each person will have one version, okay? But you put on top of each other, okay? Using that, we will know whether you are contributing or not, right? Okay, so once you finish submitting to me, you accept all, okay, and then you restart again. Okay. Oh, the whiteboard is not working. So I hope this is clear, yeah, the round revision system. Okay. With this, no more complaint. Oh, because my group mate is not working. No, everyone must have some contribution. Is that okay? I hope it is everything helpful. Okay, next. So the final, if you have a code, you can submit it to Moodle, and if you want to pick open, you can submit to GitHub. That's fine. Okay. And if you submit to GitHub, of course, your code will be probably used by other students or from other countries. Okay. So make sure that you provide enough documentation. Okay. Next. Yes, earlier I said if you want to use AI, okay, ChatGPT, Power Cloud, Perplexity is encouraged actually for brainstorming of the project. Yeah? But the end result of the project must be free from plagiarism, yeah? And pass the AI detection tool. Okay, so if you use AI, please send me the prompt. Okay, send me the prompt. Then we can discuss how you will prompt better. Okay, so now for the paper, okay, after you write the project report, okay, uh, you summarize and then put that as your paper. So you have two reports, yeah. One is the project report, yeah, in terms of slide and computation, okay, and then the paper itself, okay. So the paper, you have the usual, no? Yeah, the background represent the development of ideas, literature review, and then methodology, analysis, and conclusion. Okay, so if you want to put my name as co-author, you're welcome, but it is not required. Okay, in fact, if only if I put any contribution to your paper, then you can put my name. Yeah, if I don't have any real contribution to your paper, don't put my name. That is not ethical. Okay, so now the format. Okay, you can use any format of the journal of your target. Okay, usually between 8 pages to 16 pages. Okay, if you want to send to conference, that's also okay. Okay, if you want to make a collaboration with me, so please read this guide first. Yeah. Okay. Okay. So how I will evaluate your paper and your project? Okay. Okay. I put the detail here. So, if you only write the introduction, okay, and the introduction content related background, I will give you 2%. If you put the project definition, I will add 5%. If you put research objective, I will add 3%. Scope and limitation, 2% and 3%. So look at this, the total is more than 10%. But if you put only introduction correctly, maximum is 10%. The same thing, literature review, minimum is 20 related reference, you will get maximum 10%. If you organize the literature, okay, so it will become additional 10%, so 20 already. If you put the proper citation, additional 3%, proper reference, additional 3%, okay, and literature review itself, maximum is only 20%. The same with methodology, okay. analysis is 60%, that means you know what I'm emphasizing in this project. Yeah. So it's the analysis, yeah, not this part. Okay. And the conclusion itself is 10%. Okay, so look at the analysis. Okay, you need to describe what is the factor, so that's 5%. If you do the analysis of this scenario, you get 5%. If you do a combination of policy, and then of course the analysis of this is 7%. Okay. Oh, I put very big value in alternative scenario, which is supposed to be better than the base scenario, that is 15%. Okay. If you have financial analysis, 5%, economic analysis, 5%. If you are decision making, yeah, using game theory, MDPF, and whatever, that's 5%. Yeah. Using that, you need to know how to control your strategy. That is additional 5%. If you do sensitivity analysis, another 5%, prediction 5%, and then result interpretation 10%. The total, of course, is more than 60%, but maximum for the result analysis is 60%. Clear? Question? I hope this is detailed enough. Okay. So, okay, next. Okay. Now, as I mentioned earlier, all the project and assignment, okay, you cannot go beyond the final exam dates. Yeah? That means there is deadline in model, right? For example, or next week, you need to submit certain things. Okay, that if you are not late, you will get 100. But if you are late, okay, more than the deadline set in the model, per day, you get how much deduction? Oh, 1% per day, including Sunday. Okay, so but okay, even if you submit late, okay, per day minus 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 minus, but if you are going after the final exam date, then no more submission. Okay, so one thing, after the final exams, okay, I'll give me certain time, say 1 week, to finish all the grading. Okay, and then I will post in Moodle in the form of Excel file. Okay, you can check the computation. If there is something wrong with my computation, or you still need to submit here and there, yes, you still can, but the minus is 2%. Okay, so per day, 2% per day. Okay, and then once I submit it to you have 48 hours to check all of this. Okay, I will announce to the bidder. So let's select the bidder in this class. Okay, and then after you check, if you have no problem, okay, then I will submit it to the School of Graduate Studies and to the dean. Okay, once I submit it, no more change. Okay, even if you cry, I will not change. Okay, so I think it's fair enough, right? Because I open everything. Okay. So yeah, so be active in giving comments, question. Okay, you can propose any ideas, give feedback. Okay, so let's start. Any question, suggestion? Okay, so let's select the bidder of this class so that I can connect one person. Okay, and then this person will connect to all of you. Say, for example, oh, there is a storm, no more no more class. Okay, or maybe I don't know that there is a holiday there, so you need to tell me. So okay, so
Sir, can we have Abby again as our bidder, since
sure,
she had been our bidder from last
sure.
semester.
Sure. Abby, are you okay?
Yes.
Okay, thank you. So how about the others? Is okay? Abby is our class representative. Okay. So Abby, please take their email and phone number so that you can contact them.
Okay.
Sir, one last suggestion. We can also maximize the application or software, turn it in since our UPD email allows
Okay,
us to have that tool. And we
That's-
also have
that's Google
some
Chrome, yeah.
other tools that we can use
Yes.
using the UPD email in our Google
super.
account.
Yes, so you can use Turnitin GPT-0 to test, okay, whether there is a plagiarism inside or there is an AI detected, okay, before submission. Okay, the last one, okay, during the first submission, second submission, I don't need that. Okay, only the last one. Okay, good. So the expectation is clear from this class. Is there any change in the topic that you want so I can accommodate you? This is too much or this is too little, I don't know. Okay, that's fine. No. Okay, then this is our agreement. Thank you. Okay, so let's go to the first topic. It is, what is that? Finish. So, for syllabus sequence. Okay, so let's go to the transportation decision making. Okay. Transportation decision. Okay, so yeah, this is a broad overview. Okay, just talking only. Okay, about transportation decision making. Okay, so why we need this class? What is the framework of this class and certain insight of analysis, and then the factor that we can discuss. Yeah, and of course, you should not agree with all. Okay, but you can contribute more. Okay, this is not exhaustive analysis anyway. Okay, so why do we need analysis? Okay, so in transportation planning, why do we need analysis and technique? Okay, so I said probably we want to have effective decision making and optimizing transportation system. So I want to emphasize two things. The word effective, okay, as contrast to efficiency. Okay, so you can be efficient, meaning that you know you do everything fast, for example, yeah, but not necessarily effective. Effective means you have goal, right? You have certain goal, and you want to reach that goal, isn't it? So efficient means uh, you want to be as close as possible. Okay, I give you an example. In terms of food, okay, McDonald's is very efficient. Okay, why? Because they are standard. Okay, and anywhere you go, okay, they are almost the same. Okay, so they are efficient. Efficient means the standard deviation is very small. Okay, but not necessarily effective. Meaning, if our goal is healthy, okay, probably McDonald's food is not so. Okay, so they are efficient but not effective. Okay. So in transportation, so there are many goals. Okay, so you want to create transportation for user. Yeah? You want to create sustainability. Yeah? You want to create safe transportation. You want to provide transportation for all, not just for certain groups of people, right? So now, if you have certain goal like that, so you need to create informed decision, right? So in that case, you need analysis and technique. Okay, so by having this analysis and technique, okay, you have tools, you have insight, okay, how you will understand the need of transportation. Okay, second, how you evaluate alternative. Okay, and third one, how you optimize the resource allocation. Okay, and of course you can assess the impact. Okay, and then enhance the safety and efficiency, and you want to manage the risk. Yeah? But I want to emphasize certain things which called optimizing. Okay, so optimizing things is good or bad? Using good, of course. Right? That's why we study optimization, right? Okay. Before we study optimization in this class, okay, I want to give understanding, okay, that optimizing means we make things more efficient. For example, cost effective. Okay. How are we going to do that? Yeah. We remove redundancy. Okay. We remove redundancy. But look at this. If you remove redundancy, okay, what is the impact of that? Okay. If you make everything very, very efficient, okay, that means there is no redundancy. What will happen? Oh, what will happen is it, because the world is interconnected, okay, then there is possibility of domino effect. Okay, so if one is collapsed, the whole system collapse. So be careful with overly optimized. Okay, when you create a very optimum system, okay, that means you remove redundancy, right? That means, okay, there is a risk of sustainability. There is a risk of robustness. Okay, you want to give example? Okay. Say you have a city, right? Okay. Say like Metro Manila. Okay. So the main road is only in the ring road, right? R1, R2, R3, R4. Okay. So EDSA is R3, right? Ring road 3, okay, up to R6, example. So if one of these, the major roads, say example, EDSA, was bombed, there is a terrorist attack in certain area in EDSA, the whole city collapses into chaos, isn't it? Yeah, because overly optimized in certain things only. So you remove redundancy, but at the same time, robustness suffer. By adding redundancy, okay, it is not efficient. It is not optimal, but it is more robust. Give you another example, okay, not in transportation. Some people ask, why the Roman buildings, road buildings, the buildings during Roman era, yeah, still survive until now. It's more than 2000, isn't it? Okay. What happened? Why the modern building is only for 100 years? Okay. Probably 50 years. Okay. Why not long lasting? The reason is simple, because they build it with a lot of redundancy. Okay. And the modern science is practically we do more optimization. Okay, we create more efficiency. So our building is not as big as the Roman era. Okay. Right? So our road is not as thick as the Roman era, the stones. Okay, so we are more efficient right now than before. Okay, but at the same time, of course, not long lasting. Can you see the spectrum? Okay, with one side you want optimization. Okay, the other side you want robustness. Okay, and sustainability. So, okay, so by studying this, okay, you need to study both sides. Okay, you need to think about strategy toward sustainability, robustness, trustable system. Okay, that's one side. The other side, of course, you want optimization. Okay, remove redundancy. Is it clear or not? Okay, anything you want to discuss? I want to get your feedback on this. Any experience? Okay, so I give you another example. Okay, you think win-win solution is good, right? Is that it? Okay, so say I have a farm, okay, and our farm produce corn. Okay, nearby there is a factory of milk. Okay, and I went there and offer, hey, why don't you buy my corn rather than you buy from the reseller? Okay, so say for example, the factory buy the corn at 800. Okay, so the reseller buy from me 500. Okay, so I offer, oh, why don't you buy at 700? Okay, I will increase my revenue, right, by 200, and you will reduce your price by 100. Win-win, isn't it? Right? Correct? Oh, no middleman. Win-win or not? Oh,
Win-win, sir.
eh? From 500, I increase my price become 700. Okay, the factory will buy from me at 700 instead of 800. So win-win, right? We go in the middle. Okay. Oh, they reject it. Why? Because he said, okay, my cow cannot eat only every 3 months. Right? So I need continuation. Okay. I need robust systems. So you only supply one time. Okay. But reseller can supply all the time, every day. Can you see the problem? I only think in terms of cost and benefit, in terms of win-win situation, only one factor. Okay, the factory think of the other. They don't think about the cost on itself. Okay, they want to see the overall things. That includes sustainability. That includes the robustness of the system. Clear or not now? Okay, so if you only think about the cost, yeah, it's already correct. Why? Why you reject it? Yeah, because we think on this one factor. Okay, we don't think about the other strategy. We don't think about the other factor, which is trustable. Okay, sustainability. Can you see the points? Interesting, eh? So if you just think of one point, you will see, oh, this is the correct one, but not necessarily from the other point of view. Okay, so I give you another example, daily life example. Yeah, I have an elderly person, okay, and to take care of my mom, elderly person, I need to hire 2 person, 2 yaya. Okay, so okay, they said to each other, "Oh, I just need me only. I'm better than the others. Why don't you just increase my salary and then I can take care very well?" No, my point is not from their point of view, they are thinking about skill set, isn't it? Yeah. Okay. From my point of view, no, I want sustainability. I want trustable system. It's not about who. Okay. I'm talking about when one person is sick or going away, who will take care? Can you see that? Okay. The same, when you work in a company, okay, you think that, oh, I have a very good skill set. Okay. Why this person is the son or the daughter of the owner who has no capability at all suddenly jump in on top of me? Okay, that's from your point of view, but from their point of view, they want more reliable or trustable person that they know. Can you see the different point of view that we start to think, okay, in daily life, you know? Okay, that we can apply transportation things into daily life also. Any comments? Yes, Angelo.
Sir, in my experience, optimizing a system may have implications on costs or capital or resources, mainly in personnel. So sometimes there's a sunken cost fallacy that you've invested more money in a system that works but can be improved, but some decision makers ignore the fact that it can be optimized. So it's how can we convince them to 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 do initiatives that would improve the system?
First of all, you need to listen. Okay, sometimes what you think good is not necessarily good from their point of view, correct? Okay, so first of all, you need to listen. Why? Their point, what is their point of view? Okay, and then you start from their point of view, okay, and then you persuade to include your point of view. Okay, because if you start with an opposing point of view, okay, so you think that they are doing this is not correct, not efficient, and so on. So you are opposing them, okay. But once you oppose them, you will not get what you want, isn't it? Okay. So my suggestion is simple. You listen first. What is their point of view? Okay. Uh, no need to say your point of view first. Listen first. What is their point of view? From there, you start from their point of view and then slowly guide to include your point of view. Okay. Meaning you are in the same side with them. Then, of course, okay, they can accept you easier. Correct or not? Okay. Instead of opposing, no? Okay. So listen first. What they want. Okay. Probably using that new point of view that they presented. Okay. You can start to think, oh, in that case, this is the factor that they think as more important than what I think as important. Okay. Then, but they probably lacking of this part. No problem. So you start with their point of view first. Okay. And then you include. So how about this one? Then I think because you are not in the opposing side, you are in the same side, it's easier to accept. Okay. Anything else? Yeah. Is there anyone want to share experience or suggestion? No problem. Come on. Yes. Let's see.
Yes, sir. Since sir, I actually experienced last time when I was in Baguio doing our field work and surveys. for the road alignments for the infrastructure programs or infrastructure proposals for the fiscal year 2025, which is next year since we are in the planning service. So we have some set of list of projects, and one of the projects that we inspected, or the alignment of that project, is going to cross a river with a dam, and a proposal for dam also, water about water, the dam. And then we we communicated with the indigenous people, commission on indigenous people, because we are also considering the perspective of those IPs, or in the indigenous people there. And then uh they're also having complications when it comes to communication. Sometimes we communicate to them the projects, sometimes at a technical level, that they don't understand how the project will benefit them. I think we are, as the government sector, we have to make efforts communicating and connecting to them, to be inclusive, to be more inclusive as well, that we are considering them when it comes to the planning process, especially those kind of tangible or infrastructure projects. So I think this is one of the experience that I have experienced during my field work there.
That's super.
Yeah, the dam projects. Yep.
So people participation, yeah. I think
Yeah,
for any
people,
project,
yeah, just another point of view also to
correct,
freshen our minds as well as planners, because we always think on the
correct,
technicalities of
correct.
in implementing projects,
Mm,
without actually knowing the perspective of the people that
correct,
will directly benefit from it.
correct. So communication is very important, especially on the impact of the project. Okay, you need to be honest with them. Okay, what is the positive impact, and of course also the negative impact. Okay, so that they will not be disappointed when they see that. Okay, so yeah, I think when you start to communicate with people, okay, and ask participation, okay, on the people who will be impacted by this project, I think that is a very important point. Yeah. Okay, anyone else you want to share? Yes, Chunavi, yes.
This is actually one experience that I had as well during my field work. I was assigned before in a small island, so the context is quite different with the urban area and the small island. So it's a booming tourist destination. However, water is not enough in the island. So our project that time involves providing water system to the community. So um at the same time, the government, I was working in an NGO before, and then the government came in to provide a road network in the island to connect and to have the goal is to provide a more um, smooth travel for the tourists in that area. At the same time, provide a more safe road network for the residents, since one of the um, highest accidents is caused by motorcycle accidents in the area. However, what happened is that the contractor from our side, from the project for the water system, and the contractor for the road network did not uh, had understanding on how to lay down, how the allocation for the lay the pipes for the water and the road was not they did not follow the
Coordinate.
contractor from, yeah, they did not coordinate.
Mhm.
So what happened is that the pipes were ruined.
Oh,
Everything from the start to from the first pipe from the source until to the uh, houses were ruined. And since we are limited with funds, we cannot provide more for fixing for the fixing of the pipes, for the replacement of the pipes. So what we agreed is that the government should, or the DPWH then should replace the pipes. But the DPWH then said that they could not because it was subcontracted. From I think the point is that like the prioritization of the then government on the local government unit uh, is more about the income that it will generate from that project. For example, water is not for them is not important since it will not really provide them income. They do with no environmental fee, no if you don't have enough transportation, a nice transportation system in that island, no more guests. So the prioritization or the priority of the government in providing the projects as well was also a problem then in the community. But later on, because they provided more funds on infrastructure, most on transportation and tourism infrastructure, but water was not prioritized. Water became the problem in that island.
oh.
So that was I think one of my experience in terms of transportation at the same time the
Hmm.
social services provided in that island.
Uh, and anyone want to comment on this Junafi experience? So, what if you are in her position, what you will do?
Actually, sir, DPW, our mandate all in DPWH or Department of Public Works and Highways only encompasses the national roads. We are not mandated to do
Water.
though we evaluate those projects that will be affecting water bodies.
Yeah.
I think it's
Yeah, go ahead, Junafi.
I think it was not really the fault of the DPWH. The DPWH has already subcontracted that project, so the subcontractor was actually at fault. But then, considering that it was funded by the agency, then we have to coordinate with them in replacing the pipes. But the power to provide or to replace the pipes was, according to the agency, was to the um,
Well,
subcontractor because the funds was already downloaded to them.
okay. So, as urban planner, so what do you think about this? This is not a first time, I guess. Okay, it's repeating problems. Okay, why? It's simply because the urban planner did not take charge. Okay, on the planner. Meaning, look at this. Okay, uh, the water pipe or all utilities actually should be under the sidewalk, not under the road, right? But you don't want to design sidewalk. You think sidewalk is not important. So in that case, you very difficult to. And this problem is repeating because simply because you don't want to provide sidewalk. If you provide sidewalk in your plan, okay, then all these utilities under the sidewalk must be there, okay. Then it will not collide with the road. But because you do not provide sidewalk, most of the DPWH project do not have a sidewalk, okay, or they have only for plants, but not for human to walk. So this is a problem. They want greeneries, okay, but they don't want people to walk. Or probably because if you provide the sidewalk, someone will occupy that sidewalk to sell something. and you cannot control that. Right. So any comments? So how are you going to control what do you call informal sector that actually occupy the road to sell something? It's endemic problem, right? Go ahead, go. Anyone? Yes, Christine. I think you're mute. Cannot hear you yet. I cannot hear you yet. Okay, you type to everyone. You can type to everyone.
I think, sir, we're not allowed to type to
Oh,
everyone.
really?
But we are allowed
Okay, I will
send
put you
email
as
message.
co-host so that you can type. Oh, there. She put there. She said there should be provision for economic support infrastructure. Green drying rack. What does that mean? Green drying rack. Please set up your microphone. I don't know why. Yeah. No, cannot hear you. Go to the setting and test. Anyway, so anyone else? Come on.
Sir, can I
Sure, go.
can I
Go.
you're telling us about the informal sector that occupies the side road whenever, am I correct? Yeah,
Correct.
it is actually a problem that we're trying to identify how to mitigate or make a solution, because it has it has it has been a thing ever since we create every time we create a road, there will be houses already beside once you constructed the road, and it will um it will hamper some plans, some future plans, if ever we wanted to widen those roads.
Yeah. Housing is easy. You can just remove. How about the seller?
What, sir? This
People who sell on the road.
that one, the one who put
Hawker.
stores.
Yes.
Maybe it's more of the ordinance, municipality ordinances, implementation of uh more on the sellers or the roadside sellers too.
Why certain city can do and certain city cannot do?
I think some are raising their hands, sir.
Yeah. Go ahead. Paulo.
Good evening, Prof. Regarding the question that some municipality or some city can clear the roads, or some cannot, or some can. I just I was sometimes I am part of the road clearing operations in the city, and when we plan and when we execute the plan, we always consider the feelings
Felix.
of the vendors or the ambulant vendors along the sidewalk or along the street, and how will they react to our clearing operations.
Okay.
And most of the time, they will say a name. Most likely, it's a political name that will somehow
Protect them.
affect or protect them and affect our operation.
Okay.
So that is one important thing to consider when trying to clear the roads.
Okay. So
And
there is a play of power here. Is that correct?
yes, yes, sir. And most of the times when we clear a road, it will only take 1 day or 2 days to be cleared. Then the following day they will park again or they will sell again on the same exact location.
Okay. So you are saying it's not possible. Joven, go ahead. Yeah. Please unmute. Yeah.
I think, sir,
Hello.
because there are no penalties on their side, sir. They will, for example, as Sir Paulo said, today they will clear the area, then tomorrow they will come back because there is no penalty or there's no what do you call this
Okay.
law that can give them penalty. There are no case that we can file on them. They will just come back. Such
No. Okay.
Hello, checking.
Yeah.
Am I
Okay.
audible?
Yeah. Audible, Christine. Yeah.
Okay. Sorry, sir, about that. Um, my answer a while ago is that the local government or whoever should provide the economic support infrastructure. So let's say there are vendors on the road. So what needs
Mhm.
to happen is there needs to be a market for them, a space where they will sell that is safe, accessible to their customers. Because by just let's say penalizing them or catching them on the road, it's like a symptom. You're addressing the symptoms, but not the cause, which is a lack of a proper space for them
Mhm.
to engage in business or livelihood.
Correct. So let's divide the community into three parts. Okay, say uh, the rich, the middle class, and the poor. Okay, so the rich, they can set up the store in the mall. Okay, or in the store. Okay, now in the middle class, they pay the tax, but they are not allowed to open the store in the street. Just because you are poor, you are allowed to open more accessible than actually in the mall. Is that fair? Right. So that if you talk about fairness, okay, so this is actually unfair system if you allow them. Okay. So if you use game theory, later on we will discuss about that. Okay. Maybe in the mid of the semester. Okay. So if you use game theory, you will start to think, okay, not just to penalize, okay, but actually you can start to think to control the system, okay, by actually giving incentive to them to open the store in the street. Wow, right? It's the other way around, right? So actually, this is what's happening. Look at the example in Japan, okay? So certain street, okay, or in New York, you can start to see also, okay? In the street, in the sidewalk, there are certain space, okay, this a little bit widened. They are allowed to open the store there. Okay, not all the place, but only certain designated places along the street, and that will be rented, and the money will go to the local government. So using this kind of incentive, so the local government will get incentive to clear up the walkway, okay, the sidewalk, rather than just penalize because hey, you did not pay the rent on this place. Yeah? So in that case, you need to clear up. You don't have the permit, right? But because there are a lot and endemic, then you just clear up 1 day, 2 days, and then they come back again. Say this is a problematic because there is no incentive for the local government to do so, isn't it? But once you create the system that actually the local government can earn out of this small stall that you put, you cannot every time, but only a certain designated places. Okay, then Yes, you can open. Yeah, they have basically its agent, yeah, whether it is government, it is person, institution, okay, always have self-interest. Remember that. Okay, when we learn about this analysis and design, you start to think strategically. Okay, everyone have self-interest. Okay, now if you start to see other person's self-interest, then you can start to think of strategy. Okay, how to make that happen? Okay. How to reach your goal? Isn't that interesting? So I hope the discussion in this semester will be very interesting to you. Yeah, later on when we discuss about game theory. Okay. So anything else you want to share or say? This is the framework. Okay. Can you see my slide? Okay, this is the framework. So in transportation planning analysis technique, okay, we start with data collection. Yeah? Can you see? You collect the data, and then the data can be from demand side and supply side. Okay, and basically you will create analysis on the current pattern, okay? Whatever pattern it is, okay? From the demand side and also from the supply side. Okay, and based on the analysis of current pattern, you can forecast what will happen if this pattern continues. Okay, this is the assumption is ceteris paribus, you know, so meaning that if the conditions still the same, okay, and then the pattern continues, then we can forecast. Okay, then you start to compare. If this is the supply that I have and the projected demand is like this, then you start to compare, yeah? And whether it is adequate or not in the future. Yeah? If adequate, then stop. Yeah? If not adequate, then you start to think of alternative solution. Okay. So when you create alternative solution, you check whether it is financially feasible. Financially feasible, meaning in terms of money, okay? But this is only in terms of monetary, okay? Then we think also in terms of economic feasibility. So when we say economic feasibility, what's the difference financial feasibility and economic feasibility is that economic feasibility is not just in terms of money. Yeah? This includes everything else, yeah? Including environmental cost, social cost, and so on. So we just name it economic, yeah, because eventually, okay, all the social costs, environmental costs will be put back into monetary term. Okay, that's why we call it economic. Yeah, and then from this economic feasibility, yeah, then we check whether it is feasible or not. Right? If it is not feasible, then you generate a new alternative solution. Okay, when if it is feasible, then all this scenario that is feasible, then you start to do what is called prioritization. Okay, which one first? Okay, then you get the priority projects. Okay, then you start to think, okay, how to implement this in reality. Yeah, then you start to develop strategy, right? So when the project is already prioritized, then you start to think about how to do it in real world, yeah, how to control. This is the strategy. Okay, and once you implement, okay, this is the most important is to get the feedback. To get the feedback, okay, that means you collect back the data and then whether this is monitoring, whether this is correct or not. So I hope this is the this framework can be used also for your project later on. Okay. Any comment this on this framework or question probably?
Sir, can I share this? Can I share?
Yes,
something?
go.
This is actually the framework that we are following in our agency.
Okay.
In financial feasibility, sir, we are using it for expressways
Okay.
since it has toll. So especially toll projects or expressway projects are
Mm.
funded through loan or
Okay.
through concessionaire.
And
So
financial feasibility is important. Yeah.
it has to be profit generating in order
Mm-hmm.
to repay the loans.
Mm-hmm.
And and then other projects, road projects, other infrastructure projects fall under the economic feasibility, or we differentiate them by saying financial feasibility more on profit generating, while economic feasibility is more on social benefits or welfare
Correct.
benefits.
Correct. Yes, correct. So, experience in Indonesia, okay, the remote island, for example, in Papua and so on, in the eastern part of Indonesia, practically not so many population there, okay, but they still develop the road. Okay. If you calculate financial feasibility, this is not good, of course, no user, okay, but they still develop because economic benefit. So economic benefit in their computation is not just social because the number of population is little, but economic benefit in terms of, for example, uh, economic to the mining, for example, economic to the production, economic to the military, for the unity of the country. Okay. So this can be valued into money. Okay. What happens if this have attacked by other countries nearby? So this, when you put that into a cost benefit, it suddenly become huge. Okay. So political benefit can be monetized also. Okay. So when we say social, it's not just social in terms of helping the people, but also as a country. Can you start to see the factor is not just when we say economic benefit, we are talking about monetary valuation, but how you put monetary, what factor you put can be anything, okay, including military, including environment, including politics. You can put that into monetary system. Okay. Of course, uh, the the value of the factor can be arguable. One agency and the others can make a argument about that, and eventually they need to standardize after the argument. Okay, but the idea is to put everything under one unit with its monetary value. Okay, without converting to one unit, it's very difficult to evaluate because everyone will say, "Oh, this is more important. That is more important." How are you say that this is more important than the others? Unless you put everything under the same unit of measurement, correct? So the choice of unit measurement of monetary is probably one of the easiest, even though this is not perfect. Okay, so we don't say that this is the best way, no, but we just say that this is probably the simplest. Okay, so prioritization. Okay, I have experienced sometimes in the local government that they have their budget from loan. Okay, and once they get the loan, they don't know what is the priority because they get a lot of priority, and what they want is only to spend the money and to finish the loan. Okay, but that's bad, no? So they need to do a more systematic way to the prioritization. Okay, so that we can see not just certain factor which is to finish the loan, but actually to see the benefit for many people. Okay, so later on we also discuss prioritization. Yeah? Okay. Any other comments, feedback, probably? Okay, so let's get some insight about this. Yeah? So First, you need to identify, okay, what is the area of improvement, right? So you collect and analyze a wide range of data, okay, to understand the current transportation pattern and the trend, okay. So that means you identify the gap, okay, the efficiency in the existing transportation system, isn't it? Say, oh, this infrastructure is inadequate. Oh, there is limited accessibility. Oh, there are certain people is underserved, meaning they don't have access to public transport, for example. Okay, so based on these problems, okay, then you start to okay, analyzing the current situation, and then you start to forecast. Okay? And what is the potential future problem? Yeah. Probably that this time no problem, but maybe in 5 years you will have problems. Okay, then you prepare, right? Say, several years ago, I can see the lack of water, the lack of electricity, right? The always black out here and there. Yeah, you remember that means lack of planning, isn't it? Because they don't forecast the problem of the demand and the capacity, right? So they only see the current situation. This is the first step. But of course, you need also to forecast. Okay. Then you need to prepare. Okay? That means you start to develop. Why we need to forecast? Because to develop the infrastructure need times, isn't it? You cannot go, oh, I have lack of electricity right now, then I develop it now. Okay. Okay. It will be very costly to develop that. So with the proper planning, you can get a better solution. Yeah. So you start to develop and analyze different scenario of the solution. Okay. How to cope with the future problems. So, forecasting is also a very important aspect of planning. Okay. Not just to analyze the current situation. Okay. So what kind of data? Any data. Yeah. So example, travel behavior, traffic flow, probably population growth. Yeah. This is the normal way, right? Economic development, probably land use change. Okay. And then you can use travel demand modeling, which we will not discuss in this class. Okay. Okay. So I think other class last time I think discussed about travel demand modeling and transportation modeling in other class. Okay, so you can get insight from this model, for example, about the peak travel time, congestion, okay, and travel demand pattern. So once you have that, you can compare the supply and the demand, and then you identify the area, yeah, that need intervention, yeah, whether now or in the near future. Okay, so GIS, the Geographic Information System, is also one part. I think you also learned that in other courses, right? So that also another model that you can use. Yeah? There are several insights that we can get from analysis and technique, yeah, in this class. For example, we can understand the current and future need. Yeah? We can use analysis and technique to evaluate alternative, yeah, to optimize the resource, okay, or to assess environmental impact, or to enhance safety, and to predict and manage risk. Yeah, sometimes risk is unavoidable, right? But we can manage, we can minimize. Okay, so the first insight is about understanding the current and future need, as I mentioned a while ago. Okay, so analysis and technique will help to understand the current, okay, transportation need in the region, in the area, and then you can predict, okay, the future demand. You can identify which area actually need improvement, and then you start to develop the strategy, yeah, to meet that demand in the future or right now. So my question to you, Did you ever learn about forecasting? Time series analysis, did you learn in other course? Not at all. So do you want me to introduce a little in this course? Okay, then I will record that. So okay, so I can certain time series analysis, okay, that you can use. Yeah, the simple one, of course, growth method, but we can go beyond that. Okay, so second insight is about, of course, evaluating alternative. Yeah, so you have several scenarios. Okay, then you evaluate different alternative scenarios. Okay, and what is the impact? Okay, you can think about the factors like the cost, maybe the feasibility, environment, social, and so on. Okay, then you compare. Yeah, between the current, which is the base scenario, and the alternative scenario that you want to introduce. Okay, so by having this comparison, then when you create decision, okay, this is called informed decision. Okay? We are hoping this decision will be the most effective, meaning the reach the goal, and sustainable. Yeah, that means robust. The system is robust, not just about financial, but also robust system. Okay. That's the second insight, okay, by analysis of technique. Yeah? And third one is, of course, optimization, okay? So using your congestion pattern, traffic flow, and infrastructure capacity, you probably can identify, okay, oh, this is so much congestion here. So let's do some investment, yeah? So, and then prioritization in this area and allocate the resources more efficiently. Yeah. So of course, their goal is to maximize the benefit and to minimize the cost, right? So I have developed, probably some of you have joined my class last semester. So I have developed IFN transport. So if you want, you can use also. So you can search in Google about this. Okay. And you can also join what's the YouTube, okay, video that you can also see all those courses. Okay, so next is we can get insight, yeah, from this course. I hope you can get insight also about environmental impact. Okay, what is the, once you know the impact, then you start to develop the strategies, right? What is the strategies to mitigate the possible negative effect? Yeah, maybe in terms of air quality, greenhouse noise, okay, or impact to the natural habitat. Yeah, okay. I have a story in Japan. Okay, that there is a highway. Okay, they plan it already. When you develop a highway, do you care about the ant? The ant, ant, ant. No, right? You don't model the ant. Okay, so okay, but there is certain highway you can check in Google. And there is certain highway in Japan. Okay, when they build the highway there. Okay, and the biologists they start to see that there is a special ant that only survive in that area. Okay, due to biodiversity reason. Okay, the highway need to move to avoid the ant colony because that ant colony is unique only in that area in the world. If they can prove that, of course, it is the highway that need to change the plan, not the ant. Okay, so that's amazing story, isn't it? So you may think that environmental impact is not so important, probably, but the ant win over the highway. Okay, so this is happening. So yeah, by incorporating environmental analysis, the planner can ensure that actually uh, the project is sustainable. Yeah? Remember, we are not making road just to move people, to move the vehicles or to move people, yeah, but we want to have the economic growth, okay, to make better living space also. Okay, we don't want everything become road, right? Okay, so let's minimize the harm to the environment. Okay. So next, of course, part of this analysis of technique is also to identify safety, and traffic accidents. Or I have 12 years of traffic accident data in Metro Manila. I think if you want, we can also do some analysis together. Yeah, I did already some analysis. Okay, funded by Toyota at the time. Okay, so as a planner, you can identify the area with high accident rate and congestion, and then you can also develop strategies with how to enhance the safety and to optimize the traffic flow. Okay. In one of my video in YouTube, you can check. Okay, I develop a system to detect, okay, before accident happen, okay, potential accident, okay. So we can track the trajectory of vehicles and then whether there is a possibility of collision. Okay. So we can detect that system also. Okay. So this is one of the technique. And last but not least, insight is about predicting and managing the risk. Okay, so analysis technique will enable you as a transport planner to predict and manage the risk. Okay, so what kind of risk? Any risk, including natural disaster, probably disruption in supply chains, probably change in the travel behavior. So in that case, you after you identify and analyze the risk, okay, then you start to strategize, meaning you develop what is the contingency plans, what is the strategy to mitigate this potential disruption, okay, to ensure the resilience of the transportation system. So one problem with natural disaster in the Philippines is every time there is a disaster, as if it is the first time, right? As if it is the first time. So it is not. It's a repeating problem. So in that case, you start to think contingency plan. Okay, how to mitigate the potential disruption. Okay. In 1 year, you probably have like 10 or 12 big storm, right? So in that case, this can be planned. Okay. No need to think as if every time, but the first time. Okay. So these are factors in evaluation. This is not exhaustive factor, but I hope you can include, okay, some of these. Of course, one factor is demand and supply on transportation and the costing, okay, money and financially, and then environmental impact, social, safety, and then land use. Okay? Land use development. And even if you consider all of this, how about operation? Okay, day-to-day operation is also important to be dealt with. Okay? And again, as you mentioned earlier, many of you talk about stakeholder engagement, or people participation, public input. This is also very important. Okay? So when transportation is not just engineering, it's not technical only. So this is also social science. In fact, if you see a journal or transportation engineering, transportation science, for example, this is not under technical, it's under social science. Okay, so yeah, so transportation demand, you need to get the level of demand for the transportation service. Okay, then you know the current condition, and you project it, okay, based on population, based on demographic data. Okay. What is transportation supply? Transportation supply means the capacity. Yeah? Capacity demand means the flow. Okay, the flow. Flow means how many vehicles per hour, how many people per hour. That's the flow. Yeah? Entity per unit of time. Okay. Transportation supply is also the same unit. Yeah? Road capacity is also how many people per hour or how many vehicles per hour. The same unit. But in terms of road capacity, for example, road width or number of lanes, then you talk about how many this road width, okay, or this road lane, number of lanes can accommodate how many people maximum. Okay, and of course the road network itself and the vehicles, no? The number of bus, the trains, locomotive, and so on. So you need to see both sides, demand and supply. Okay, now by comparing demand and supply, then you will know, oh, there is a need or adequacy. Probably not now, probably in the near future. Yeah. Again, you need to forecast this. Okay. Second is multimodal integration. Yeah. So yes, you have public transport, but there is no integration, right? Integration means you start to think in terms of user. Okay, they want to go from home to school or to office or to mall, for example. Okay? So then how they will go, right? So you cannot just provide the main how traffic transit, okay, for example, MRT or bus only, but there is no connection between their home to that main public transport. Okay. Or right now you have motorcycle system, right? So tricycle, which is much more expensive than the main public transport. Okay. So in that case, the total transportation cost will be much higher if they are using public transport rather than they use car. So in that case, they are discouraged to use public transport, not because of the main haul, which is the MRT or the bus, which is probably cheap, but the what do you call that? The feeder service, right? The feeder service is so expensive. So you need to think in terms of the whole multimodal integration. Right? Oh, I want to use cycling. They don't do cycling to walk from their home to office. For example, in Quezon City to Makati, that's too far to do cycling, right? So in that case, cycle is as a feeder service, right? From home to the main public transit, yeah, like the bus or the MRT, LRT. So in that case, where is the parking space for the cycle? You probably provide the cycle bike lane, right? But you don't provide the rack for the safety. Then it's useless. You see, when you see the system, you need to integrate the system. Yeah, it's not just piece by piece alone. Okay, so think in terms of multimodal. Okay, transportation network. Okay. So the same when you said, "Oh, I'm providing pedestrian walkway, walking system." Oh, is this universal design that even the people in wheelchair can pass? Okay, so if not, then this is not yet a good system, right? So again, people will not walk directly between cities, right? So is there any connectivity between the walkway to the public transport from their home? Yeah. Go to Singapore. In any HDB housing, you can see, yeah, from the building until the bus stop, there is a cover walkway, always you see, so that when it rains, they can still use public transport. You see that this how the cohesive and efficient system they make. So think about integration. Yeah, it's not just piece by piece. Okay. So the transfer between one model to the other, yeah, and how to reduce the overall travel time, not just main haul only. Okay. So what is the viable alternative to private vehicles in terms of public transport? We know, everyone knows that if everyone use private vehicles, it's not enough, right? The road capacity is not enough. We know that, but at the same time, there is no viable alternative. So then it's your job as an urban planner, transport planner, to design all of this. Okay, and trucks, okay, freight transportation, okay, logistic network. Okay, this represent the economy of your city, of your province, of your country. Okay, it's very strange that you limit the freight movement. Okay. I can see only one lane for trucks. They, this is a strange behavior, because you are limiting the economy. Okay, so once you limit that, okay, eventually you create congestion for the trucks. That means the logistic will be longer to reach the destination. That means the cost will go to the customer. That means the inflation will go much higher. So you can start to see the whole change of effect. Okay, not just transportation on itself, but the whole things in the system that you need to see. Okay, I hope through this course you can start to see the overall picture in the society, not just transportation. Okay, transportation is derived demand. Okay, so you need to think that we support the society, not just for transportation on itself. When you reduce congestion, it doesn't mean that reduction of congestion just for the sake of travel time, okay? But the whole economic is enhanced because of reduction of congestion. Okay. Next, certain areas. Okay, if you analyze, say, for example, transit data, okay, how frequent, what is the coverage and reliability, for example, then you can start to see there are certain areas that you cannot, there are limited transit accessibility. Okay, so there is a map called isochrone that you can check on your own on this website. Okay, so where can you get in X minutes if you use walkway? Okay, of course, people will not walk too far, isn't it? Okay, so usually between 500 meters to 1 kilometer, that's maximum. So, I mean, for working, for walking or for school. Okay, but for sport, they can walk for 10 kilometer. Okay. For shopping, surprisingly, I've done some survey for shopping inside the mall. Yeah, certain people can walk very far, like 10 kilometers, without realizing that they actually walk that far. Okay. So, but for the commuting, okay, this is transit accessibility analysis is very important. Okay. This is one example of analysis. Second is about cost and funding. Okay, so please check the construction cost, yeah? The operation cost, the maintenance cost, and the potential of environmental impact. Okay. Well, you don't need to think yourself as a consultant of government. It can be a private company, for example, a logistic company, and so on. Okay. So, okay, I want to ask you something. If you own a car, Have you ever think how much is actually the construction in this case buying the car, right? If you consider total cost of a car, okay, including the purchase, operation, that mean the operation mean the gasoline, right? And then the maintenance, the oil, the tire, and so on, and service. Okay, okay, forget the environmental impact. So this is the tax, okay, including all. Okay, and then you divide how long you will use your car. Okay, 5 years, 10 years. And compare this if you use, say, Grab. Okay, per trip, for the same trip that you put. So is it actually cheaper or more expensive? Most people will only calculate the operation cost, okay, which is the gasoline only. But try to think everything, not just gasoline. Okay, include the purchase cost, include the maintenance and the tax. Yeah, in this case, potential environmental impact is the analogy of the tax. Okay, is it cheaper or more expensive? Have you ever tried to compute? Oh, oh. If you can compute, okay, and then you say for the same distance, okay, then you can calculate, right? So, did you realize that if you have a car, actually most of the time, okay, that you own a car, the car will only rest in the parking lot. Do you know that? Right? I mean, in terms of 24 hours. Yeah. So you probably go 1 hour, 2 hours, and then come back 1 hour, 2 hours. Right? That's 4 hours out of the 24 hours. Right? So that 20 hours, okay, is in the parking lot. Okay. So when they're in the parking lot, that means the purchase fee, okay, that you pay is actually you need to divide by the number of hours or the numbers of total days, isn't it? So in terms of efficiency, it's not necessarily cheaper if you consider the total cost. It's based on cost alone. Okay. And again, we discussed earlier that financial feasibility, yeah, we talk about the cost and revenue, okay, and economic feasibility is evaluating broader economic impact, yeah, that include the direct costs and benefit, which is of course the financial and indirect and intangible effect, yeah, on the economy. Yes, Aaron.
Good evening, sir. So I
Yes.
guess just to share, at least from the perspective of the government,
Mm-hmm.
when we're trying to finance a particular transportation infrastructure project, there are at least three funding sources. So you have the government appropriation
Mm-hmm.
via your national or local budget. It, there is the loan from financial institutions
Mm-hmm.
and other countries, and then you also have private sector financing via public-private partnership. No? So I guess when for each type of funding sources, I guess I would like to say the financial analysis is a bit different. So for example, if it's a purely government funded project, you're
Mm-hmm.
only looking at the financial viability of the project from the perspective of the public sector. But
No,
if it's,
okay.
for example, a PPP project, you also have to take into account the financial viability of the project from the private sector's perspective as well.
Mm-hmm.
So I
Mm-hmm.
guess that's something that's interesting to discuss as well, perhaps
Correct,
in
correct.
the future. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. So how about from the loan perspective?
From the loan perspective, I think you also have to take into account it's usually what happens in a loan is that it's similar to a national budget funded project. So the government will get loan from a bank or other countries,
Mm-hmm.
and then it's the hiring of the contractors and the implementation of the project it will be with the government as well. But I think the one thing that you have to factor in also is the amount of the current loan that the government has, because of course you can't get a lot of loans every time for your projects.
We
Yeah.
all sorry,
Okay,
sir, just
go ahead.
to add, because I'm actually evaluating some of the loans.
Mhm.
It is actually called Official Development Assistance, or ODA,
Mhm.
ODA loan. And then one of the factors that we are considering is also the interest rates and maturity period.
Mhm.
When the loan should be repaid, or how many years the loan should be repaid, and how much interest it could um incurred for that maturity period.
Mm. Yes.
Because there is also a grace period before you repay those loans. Like, for example, you're implementing a project of a 5-year construction
Mhm.
of a project. Then possibly, for example, JICA will give you a grace period of 10 years before
Mhm.
you actually repay the loan.
I see.
You have to evaluate the net I think the net
Mm.
present value of those
Correct.
payments
Correct.
that you made, or you will make for the next years.
Correct. Yes. So, as mentioned in the framework a while ago, okay. So, before you go economic feasibilities, okay, whether this is PPP or a loan or purely government projects, okay. Uh, First you need to do financial feasibility, right? So, financial feasibility, meaning that uh, the the value, okay, of the benefit must be more than the cost. Okay, and then if this is not enough, okay, for the government project, okay, then they can add other factors to make it into economic feasibilities. Right. So, but if the financial feasibility is already okay, then of course economic feasibility must be more than okay, isn't it? Right. So when the financial feasibility is not okay in terms of the cost, yeah, the revenue is not enough, from the toll, for example, okay, then you start to include something else, okay. Oh, what is the growth, okay, in terms of land value, for example, you can include, okay. So in that case, become economic feasibility rather than financial feasibility. So the first thing that you need to do is financial feasibility, isn't it? Okay. Because if you start with economic feasibility, even though it is government project, so you go economic feasibility without financial feasibility, this is not a good way, right? Because of course you need to see the cash flow. Okay, we want to see the cash flow, so you need to put everything into net present values, equivalence, okay, and then we need to compute the usual, okay, so the IRR, the benefit cost ratio, the NPV, at least these three. Okay. So these are the financial feasibility that we need to put. Okay. So once this is not enough, so you include the economic feasibilities to be in, okay, that you include other factors. Okay. 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 So this is the difference, okay, a major difference, no? The purpose. Okay. Financial analysis usually only from budgetary perspective, yeah, and sustainability of the project. Okay. While economic analysis will evaluate broader potential benefit and negative impact of the project. Okay. So in terms of the cost, usually financial analysis will include only construction, operation, and maintenance. Okay. But economic analysis will include something else. Yeah. Not just, of course, the cost of direct costs like construction, operation, maintenance still there. but you can add additional with social disruption, environmental impact, and so on. So remember, economic analysis is financial plus. Okay, it's not the replacement, but this is plus. So in terms of benefit, you get the direct potential revenue in financial analysis. For example, the fare, the toll, and the subsidy or the loan. Okay, and then in terms of economic analysis, then you start to include anything else. Yeah? So you probably the reduce of travel time, increase of accessibility, reduce of vehicle operating costs, job creation, for example, and economic development, land improvement, and so on. So these are the main difference between financial analysis and economic analysis. So again, you need to do this first, yeah, financial analysis first. Okay, and then if this is not enough, you add. Of course, if this is required that you need to have this, then of course you need to include. Okay, but not all projects need to include economic analysis. Okay. But all projects need to include financial analysis. Okay. I hope this is clear enough. Okay. So if you are private sector, you don't need economic analysis. Right? Correct. But you still need financial analysis. So as a private sector, you probably don't care about much. You probably care, but in the code, right? Right. So about the environmental impact and so on. So only when you are forced to. Okay. But direct cost, direct potential revenue, you care so much. But when you are in the public sector, government, the bank, or the PPP, right? So this is important. Economic analysis is important. But economic analysis alone cannot stand. They need to have a backup with the financial analysis as well. Okay, so this means this is the basic, and then you add. Okay, so a project may be financially viable, okay, meaning the cost covered by revenue, but it may not be economically beneficial. Yeah, so say whether economic or social costs probably outweigh the benefit. Okay? So in that case, or vice versa. So in that case, you need both financial and economic analysis, especially for transportation planning, okay? For public sector. Yeah. So for private, you probably don't need this, yeah? Economic benefit. Yeah. So it depends where you will work later, right? So can you give me examples of transportation project that economically viable, but financially may not be feasible? Anyone?
For almost all railway projects.
Railway project is economically viable, but financially not feasible.
Yes.
Why?
Here in the Philippines, there's no existing framework for us to capture land value increases.
Oh,
And the fares for railway are very low. So they're mostly subsidized by the government.
I see.
So just to put into perspective, the MRT3 back in 2001, the fare was around 100 pesos. And
Okay.
now it's 15 pesos.
Okay. So I think as long as I remember, President Era make that change. Is that correct?
I'm not sure, but yes, around that time.
Yes. So now, if you want to increase back to 100 pesos, Is it possible?
No,
The
sir.
public will not agree with that. Actually, we just raised it by 2 pesos, I believe. So 15 pesos is already higher. It used to be 13 a few months ago.
Yeah.
And yeah, there was a lot of pushback.
Yeah. Once you open it to all, then the purpose is changed. Yeah. So the purpose of MRT is not for the poor. That's why the original price was 100 pesos or more, because they are supposed for the middle class. Okay, the poor is always captive anyway, so they can use bus. Okay, this is recorded, so I'm just telling the truth. Okay, so the poor is always captive user. So meaning they will not use, they are not choice user. Choice means they can use public transport or they can use private vehicles. Choice user. Okay, and the poor is always captive user. The rich is also captive user. The same captive user mean they cannot go to public transport, whatever price, whatever service that you put. Okay, so our target market is the middle class, which will shift from private vehicles to the public transport. So that's why the price must be high. Okay, but once you change the design, okay, that they name it MRT, they misled the name, become mass rapid transit, right? So they think that this is for the mass, meaning for the poor. This is not true. Okay, this is for the middle class, so that there is a modal split to move from the private vehicles into public transport. But once you put it into low class, okay, the middle class do not move at all. So in that case, the design of MRT is not so useful anymore because it's the wrong design. Once you put it into uh, for low class, then this become a low class public transport. In this case, there is no modal shift, mode choice. There is no mode choice anymore. So the engineering shift of mode from choice user, okay, with its middle class to go to public transport, it will not happen. So, but explaining this is probably very hard to the politician and to public.
So it goes back to the self-interest
Yes.
of the politicians. Yes.
Yeah. Probably we need to think how to reverse the direction of control. Later we discuss about during what is that? Kim theory. Is there any other example of transport project that economically viable but financially not feasible?
Sir, I would argue that pedestrian walkways are that type of projects. It's economically viable because if you build a walkway, you would increase the overall social welfare of the public.
Correct.
However, I would argue that it's not financially feasible because traditionally the walkway projects have no source of revenue for the government.
That is
Yeah,
not true. That is not true. That is not true. Because you are thinking the user of the walkway is only pedestrian.
yes.
But if you include the utilities, the internet, the electricity, water, all the utilities under that walkway, and the cost of maintenance and constructing, if you include everything, uh, that is actually financially more than feasible.
Hmm. Interesting.
Okay, because you are only thinking of user. With this the pedestrian, yes, probably not feasible because they don't pay, right? But if you include everything, remember we are urban planner, we are not just transport, okay? In terms of utilities, including the drainage, flood control is under that, isn't it? So by putting all these utilities, yeah, including the drainage under the walkway, okay, if you design that correctly, so what happened is the actual cost overall is much cheaper. How much is, like a while ago, who was the explaining the water pipe was destroyed, right? Because of construction of the road, you see. So this will not happen if you put this under the walkway. And because the walkway is using paved block, right, which is easily to remove. So the cost of maintenance is cheap. And after you remove, you can put back, you see. So maintenance is very cheap in this case, operation and maintenance. Because you are thinking only the construction. But let's think about the whole life cycle, possible. So from the idea, the cradle, until demolishing, the full life cycle. Then you start to see, oh, this is not actually expensive. Yeah. Any other examples? This is good discussion. Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Yes. Yes, Angel.
Sir, what about digitizing or optimizing traffic signals using artificial intelligence?
Wow, what's that?
So, since we've been studying this
ITS,
in
na?
Metro Manila, yes, sir.
Intelligent
Yes,
Transportation
yes,
System.
yes, sir. Here in Metro Manila, there are roughly 400 traffic signals, and it is optimized or controlled locally or manually and digitally.
Mhm.
But there are no traffic
Coordination.
signal yet. Yes,
Yeah.
coordination between the uh, neighboring traffic signals and using the current detection system
Mhm.
where they lay it under the asphalt or concrete.
Mm.
I think uh it's not working since uh they would lay it under the ground, then when certain agencies maintain it, they
Remove.
this damage it.
Ah, okay.
So it's not that accurate. So what if we install cameras
Mm.
to optimize the traffic signal,
Yeah.
but it would involve replacing all the systems and maintaining the cameras for damages and the softwares, maintaining
Mm.
those softwares. So I
Yeah.
think it's not that financially viable. So
In
it would
nutshell,
optimize the traffic.
we don't know yet. So if financially not feasible at this
Mm,
point, okay, unless you compute. But I
yeah.
think that's a quite good project if you want to do it in this class. Yeah, I think it's very interesting also. Yeah. Uh, well, we can test. I don't know. So you can check the data. For example, how much is the actual camera, for example, and how much is the software. Okay, and then uh, what will be the improvement in terms of uh, the overall congestion reduction, for example. Okay. And from there, we can see whether this is actually financially feasible or not. So if you can add, if financially not feasible, you can probably add some environmental factor to make it maybe feasible. I don't know. If after you compute economically still not feasible, but at least we know that this is not feasible. Yeah. Unless we compute, then we will know. At this point, we don't know. Because camera itself, now okay, it's HD camera, but I think the technology is cost is getting lower. Yeah. Last time I went to Ho Chi Minh, Hanoi in Vietnam. Okay, quite interesting. From airport to the city center. Okay, every time we see the traffic signal. Okay, when we go to near the traffic signal, it will turn green. So it's well coordinated. Okay. So I think this is very interesting because when you can create a well coordinated traffic signal, that the entire system will be optimized. Yeah. Yes. Who else want to discuss? Yeah. So again, I put here some examples. Okay, airport, port, and road in remote islands. Okay, economically probably not feasible. Financially not feasible, right? But if you calculate political costs to unite the country, okay, probably won't generate more economic and social equity. Then even though the demand is low, you can start to argue economically this is feasible. Okay. Road to the farm or road to the production center, for example, a big factory, may have only low traffic. Yeah? But if you create the road to the farm, it will reduce the whole economic cost of the region, isn't it? So you will have a rice center. So again, the pedestrian walkway and bike lane is probably not feasible financially. Okay, but if you include the safety, for example, or if you include the utility inside, that probably become feasible. Okay, so the many ways to think that what's financially not feasible may become feasible economically. Okay. So in that case, you need to include the factors. Again, it's arguable, okay, whether this factor is accepted or not, okay, by the evaluator. Okay. So the third part here is the environmental impact of transportation. Okay. So you need to carefully evaluate all of this. Okay. This include the air quality, the noise, right? Greenhouse gas emission, and potential disruption, okay, to natural habitat like the one level, right? Okay, you need to identify what is the alternative that will minimize the potential impact. Remember, sustainability, okay, is represent the robustness of the system. Okay, this is also important, not just economic. Okay, and of course, the social equity. Okay? So how its alternative that you propose may affect different communities, especially those who are historically marginalized or underserved. Okay, so please, when you create alternative, aim to promote equitable access, yeah, for all, not just for a certain group of people that have power. Okay, so there are certain tools, of course, GIS, for example, that can track the equity indicator. Yeah? check this keyword, then you can search in Google, and you can start to see more detail. Yeah. So equity indicator is a metric. Okay, very simple metric. For example, like travel time to certain key destination. For example, just transportation costs or access to public transport or mode sharing. Okay, but you need to differentiate, yeah, by demographic group. Yeah? So you disaggregate by the income, by the race, by the age, by disability status. So these are the equity indicator. Okay, once you do a cross tabulation, okay, all of these normal metrics by these demographic groups, yeah, then you can start to be able to monitor, okay, the trend over time. Yeah? So you can track the change about disparities, and you start to evaluate what is the effectiveness of certain policies or certain intervention that you promote on them. So yes, this is usually long-term study. Yeah, it's not just during the class, but I think I want you to be aware that this is also important. Okay, and equity analysis is also to analyze the demographic data and transportation accessibility, okay, to identify which area or which certain population groups, yeah, for example, low-income resident or people with disability, okay, they have limited access to transportation, right? So then you can highlight, okay, or how the area of infrastructure improvement, probably certain targeted transit service to ensure to them. Okay, so I think one of the project, the CVM a while ago, the paper that I just showed you in the flash a while ago, that's actually about this. Yeah? So about old people in Japan that they have limited access to transportation. Then we start to do this kind of study. Okay, how to improve their mobility. Yeah? So the target investment and intervention in the community with the greatest need. Okay, so people with disability, people with low income, okay, how they can get access to transportation. Okay, so this is also very important aspect that you probably want to think about. Okay, how you will guide. I know probably you will say, probably that's in developed countries. We are still lack of many things here. Well, it's probably, but when you start to think on different way of thinking, then people will start to think, oh, even if we, the weak in the society, we start to take care, then the society as a whole, we need to take care more, isn't it? Okay. I have a hypothesis. Okay. Certain countries have a social benefit. Yeah. For example, in Europe, in Japan, for example, in Australia, okay, they have social benefit to the old people, isn't it? So then you work and you pay a certain amount of tax, and then certain amount of this tax will become the social benefit, so that you get retirement from the government. Yeah, in Europe, for example. So then what happened is you can start the decline in the population. Okay. Strange, isn't it? Why? Because logically, if the old people is already taken care by the government, okay, and they don't like to have children anymore. Isn't it strange? Okay, so if they have, if they don't, if someone is already taking care of the old people, meaning okay, then the children don't need to take care of their parent, isn't it? Then what happened? What happened is, why I need to have children, right? So the more than 2,000 years of, you know, that the children need to take care of their old parent and so on, like in our society still exists in Asia, that apparently that we care of the weak group in the society is actually provide sustainability to us. Don't you think so? Okay. Remember, everyone is selfish. Okay, assuming that. Okay, now someone already take care of your parent, say the government. What happened to you? So you said, okay, I have children, okay, but your children, what will they think? Oh, I don't need to take care of my parent. Okay, then what they will do? They don't want to have children. Eventually, the number of population in the society collapse. The growth rate reduce simply because, okay, the children don't need to take care of their parent. What do you think about this hypothesis? So the same thing, when you talk about equity analysis. Yes, Paulo.
It could be a cultural thing.
Correct.
Yeah, because we Filipinos
Take care of the parent.
believe that we need or it is our duty to take care of our elders.
Yes,
And
but what happened? What happened if the Philippine government decided to take care of your elders?
then it would be a great help to the
For you.
youth population of the to us.
Yes, but how about your children? What they will think? They don't need to take care of you anymore, right? Will they have children?
Possible. It's a possibility. Probably not. Probably yes.
Yes.
But it's still a huge question of culture.
Yes, that's correct. Okay, Genevieve, you want to say something? Again, it's hypothesis, no?
Yeah, I think well, that's a factor, sir, that if the government will subsidize or will take care of the elderly, the young ones will think that they don't need to have kids in
Right.
order for them to be taken care of,
Correct.
especially in this economy. So I
Yes,
think
because
that's
the
one
grace is
factor.
more expensive. That's correct. And
But also, sir, we have to think about the other factors. Yes, so someone will take care of the elderly, but you also have to think of for example, sex education is still a taboo in the Philippines.
oh,
The use of contraceptives, the use of condoms and pregnancy pills is a taboo here in the Philippines. So,
okay.
the young ones are not yet familiar of this, and
Okay.
even the millennials, I think, are not yet well, if you buy a condom in a store, it's still a taboo,
Oh,
especially.
okay.
Yeah, so whether the government have the program to um take care of the elderly, the government should also intensify the sex education,
So
family plan.
that means sex education will actually reduce the population.
Yes. If the government it has, because since Philippines is more of like well, most of the Filipinos are Catholics
Yeah.
and believe that uh to go forth and multiply.
Right.
Yeah,
So
so you also have to involve the church as well, other sectors
correct. That's
in
correct.
intensifying the sex education. At the
That's
same
correct.
time, program to take care of the elderly would be a very good factor,
Good thing.
big
Yes.
factor in lowering the population, especially here in the Philippines.
Lowering the population. So okay, my question next is better to increase population or to reduce population?
Depends on the context.
Okay, what? Explain. Yeah, Christine.
Sir, for me, I think it's better to reduce the population.
Really? Why?
Yes. Because it's a great pressure on public services. bigger demand for services, which already we're having a hard time providing, since our middle class is overtaxed, but our upper classes are undertaxed. So we don't have enough resource. It's not enough for our population. That's why there are people in poverty. So that's why I think it's better to decrease compared to its current rate.
Oh,
Not
what's the
like
growth rate right now?
because of the pandemic, it
Increase.
actually increased a
Correct.
bit, I think, because it was on a downward trend of growth. But I think the pandemic, because of people
Yeah,
inside at home,
I know.
so yeah, but yeah, I think it should decrease or at least stabilize.
What is the current rate right now?
Um, I'm not sure, but the average household size is 4 right
Okay.
now,
And
4.3. A
and the
few
growth
years
rate.
back, it was 5 point something.
Mhm. Yes, Chunafi, you want to say something?
In the context of the Philippines, lowering the population probably would be applicable. But in other countries, I think in Japan,
Yes.
and one example is Japan. Since the population of the elderly is bigger than the working population, there's also a problem. So
Yeah.
I agree with Ma'am Christine. Probably we have to stabilize the population. There's may pros and cons for the decrease of the population and the increase of population. For example, for the decrease of population, if you decrease it, the one future problem that we will encounter in the Philippines is the population for uh, the working population. But one pro here is that I think in terms of space, we will be able to manage the space, since housing, the other social services is not enough to cover the Filipinos right now.
Really?
So that's
Because you
my
did not spread, because you only go to a certain location. Right? But if you spread the whole Philippines, I think in terms of population density, it's not that big. No? What do you
but
think?
then
Yes, Katrina, yeah.
Actually, sir, similar to what you said, sometimes the population problem is a matter of decentralization or redistributing the population from the city centers towards the less
Other
populated
islands.
areas. Also, to add to the earlier discussion, if the government takes care of your parents, it can also go the other way.
Like,
So, for example, if your parents are taken care of, and that allows you more freedom or more resources to start
correct,
your own family.
correct. Yeah.
So
In your generation, you are sandwich at this point.
mm,
Okay. You need to take care above you and down. Okay. This is very heavy. Okay. I understand that. Okay. So, once we don't take care of the parent anymore, okay, that means you take care of the younger generation. But my question is the sustainability. Okay. How about next generation after you, or maybe your grandchildren? Uh, what is their thinking? That should be the big question. Okay. So eventually population growth will decline because of the social system. Of course, you mentioned about education, about the culture, about the religion. That's all true. Yeah? That's influence the factors. I'm just talking about one hypothesis factor only. You know? Which one is better, population reduction or increase? Okay, so when population reduce, okay, economic will not grow. Okay, so the reason your economic grow is because of increase of population. So if there is a war, okay, what happened? If there is a big war, okay, then economic will not grow. Uh, uh, I remember my grandparent telling, okay, at that time during the World War, okay, all housing are empty, so you can occupy any place, okay, and nobody want to buy a house because anyway, too much house compared to the population. So in that case, economic do not grow. So, so what do you think about this? Okay, Christine, you want to say something?
Yes, sir. I still believe that the population should not grow. Um, well, I think my biggest opinion on that is because humans, individual humans and collectively, we have such a huge carbon footprint.
Okay.
So the more there are of us, the more the environment degrades. Especially with how things are going, the rate that we're going.
Okay, okay.
Our consumption and production processes are not environmentally friendly for majority. And then aside from that, oh sorry, I forgot what I was going to say. But it's with regards to the density, decentralizing, it also affects the environment. So I believe
Yes.
that there are places that should be developed and there are places that should not be touched, should be left, natural,
Okay.
protected. So if you have a bigger population, you're going to need more space. While you
Correct.
can do intensive vertical, let's say, development, it still consumes resources. Water, it's
Yeah.
a very important resource, which it's not infinite. So that's why I really feel like we should, actually the first thing we should do is really manage the population. Because of the pressure on resources, both natural, financial, social, so that sort of thing. So that's my opinion.
Yeah, that's a very interesting opinion, and I'm surprised many of you have the similar opinion. Okay, so in Indonesia, also in China, okay, 1960s, 1970s, we have this opinion, and they campaign, okay, family planning, okay, in China, one child policy, okay, and they reduced the growth of population, was able to manage, and because of that, they started to regret now. Okay, so based on the experience of the countries, so you can start to see they start to regret now because apparently now we start to value number of population actually represent the market and represent the economy. Okay, so even Japan now, because their population growth is reduced, so now they are importing. Okay, now they're importing uh, many young people from other countries to work in Japan. Okay, why? Simply because their social system cannot cope with that number of population. Yes, Angelo, you want to say something?
Yes, sir. I heard that since Japan's population is more of an old population,
Yes.
some of the insurances companies are having difficulties maintaining their distribution and
Yes.
for older people. Since there are more older people, there are more funds distributed to them. So so they're having a hard time maintaining that.
Yes. You can see in Europe, there are a lot of protests, for example, in France recently. Okay, why? Because they now increase the retirement age. Can you see? The retirement age, they increase, for example, from 60, now become 65, now become going up. Okay, in the US, now there is an age discrimination act so that even old people can still work. Okay, so why all of this happening? Because people is getting older. right? When people getting older, the social system cannot cope. Yeah. So when they want to maintain the giving benefit to the old people, okay, this come from the young people who work, correct? But if the number of young people who work is actually declining, then who will maintain this system? Where the money come from? Cannot, right? So overall, sustainability of the social system is in jeopardy. It's a problematic. It's true. It's very nice for one generation to think that, oh, the government will take care of my parent. That's one side, okay, of the story. But if you look at the whole system, okay, for a long time, so who will take care eventually? Because this money is not free, right? They need someone who work in the population to support this system. Correct. Right. Okay. So eventually, when the healthcare system becoming better, so people getting older, when you stop working at 60, okay, expectation at that time was, okay, you stop working at 60, at 65, you die already, correct? But now people don't die at 65, they die probably 80 or 90s or even 100, and even longer. Then who will take care of these people? Where the money come from? Of course, the young people who work. Okay, so it's just a shifting from family basis to the society basis. It's the same actually. So anyway, so equity analysis here, I just want to say, look, when you take care of the certain weak, okay, group in the society, yeah, low income people, old age or disability, actually at certain thinking, you think that this is not beneficial because they don't give us back something. Okay, but if you look at the long-term sustainability of the society, okay, it depends on how we take care of the weak in the society. So when we don't take care of the weak in the society, our society will collapse eventually. That's the message I want to say. So once you compare, okay, these indicator values before and after the implementation of any policy or project that you plan, okay, then you can assess, okay, whether actually this intervention that you plan will actually lead to more equitable income or not. Sometimes what we assume happening, not necessarily happening, isn't it? Okay, then we need a feedback. And that's why we look at the framework a while ago. When you implement that already, you need the feedback. Okay, you monitor. You don't just implement and then, okay, bye-bye, I implement something. That is not the main reason. Okay, you need to get the feedback and then you see to assess again whether this intervention a while ago, a long time ago, it actually lead to more equitable outcomes or not. The goal is achieved or not. If not, then probably you need to think or rethink the policy that we did before. Yeah. The same like one child policy in China, okay, or the family planning that we do in Indonesia. So after getting the feedback, okay, whether it's actually correct policy or not, we started to doubt ourselves. Over a long time, at that time probably yes, this is the right policy. But when you see the long-term effect, then you start to see different point of view. Okay, sometimes systems is not just within a short time, like 5 years or 10 years. Sometimes we need a longer period of framework, like 50 years and 100 years and so on. I know you died already at that time, but okay, point of view, okay, long-term point of view is also important. Okay, we as human being not just thinking of ourselves or our society right now, but we also think about the future generation after us. Okay. So having this indicator as the basis for advocacy effort, okay, you can hold decision maker accountable because you are monitoring, you have a certain value that you can assess. Okay, then we can say, okay, your policy before is not correct or yes, is correct. Okay, accountability come from the basis of measurement. Okay. The next is safety. Yeah? Safety is also a paramount concern in transportation planning. Yeah, accident rate, transportation congestion, and potential conflict between mode of transportation. Okay, so okay, when I study safety, okay, we need to distinguish between accident rate and fatality rate. Okay, when the road is congested, okay, the number of accidents increase a lot. Okay, but the number of fatality reduce. Okay, when the road is actually not congested, meaning wide road, okay, very nice, high speed, okay, the number of accidents probably not so much, but the number of fatality is very high. Can you explain why? Momentum. Yeah, go, Katrina.
I think for when there's congestion, the speed of the vehicles tend to be slower,
Exactly.
but there's more, it's more prone to
Bumping.
incidents,
Yes.
bumping to each other. But
They,
for
they will
wider,
not die.
for more high-speed free flow roads,
Yes.
the vehicles are much faster,
Correct.
which
So
is more
it
dangerous.
correct. So impact equal momentum. Remember. Yeah. In physics before in high school, you probably remember m times v equal I times t, right? So mass times speed equal to the force times the time. Okay. So impact equal momentum. Okay. So high speed is the problem to create a higher impact. The force getting higher because of the high speed. Okay. So in that case, when you build a highway, okay, potentially increase the fatality rate. Okay. Yes, you want to increase the speed, but at the same time, you actually increase the fatality. Okay? But when you have a traffic congestion, okay, so in terms of safety, probably you should be thankful because of the traffic congestion. So then number of fatality is reduced. No? I checked in Metro Manila for 12 years, the number of fatalities only 5,000 something fatality. That's much lesser than the number of reported death toll due to the drug war in 1 year during the last presidency, which is 7,000 plus, right? So, yeah, so you can also check, for example, if you want to do a safety analysis, so cross data analysis, yeah? Identify high risk location, what is the pattern, what angle they have, what kind of vehicles, okay, what is the contributing factor to the accidents. So up to now, I think the analysis of crash data is not yet fully developed in the Philippines. And yes, they have a lot of questionnaire, but I'm not sure if they are underreported. Okay, the one that they have is actually underreported. And in Metro Manila is the data with MMDA. I think the other region is with public work or with TPWA. rates. I don't know. Okay. So you can start to identify a high cross intersection or the corridor. Okay, which area with high pedestrian or cyclist accidents, or probably some zone that have speeding incidents. Okay. Nowadays there are a lot of technique using, even though the data is inadequate, you can start to use a lot of measure. So what I did last time was to use the location, okay, and then you do a geocoding. You understand geocoding? From the address, you will know the coordinate. Okay. So because they don't, the class data in the Philippines, they don't actually put the GPS coordinate, so we don't know the actual location. Okay, so then using a geocode, okay, that means from the address that they report, you can get back the GPS coordinate. So with that, well, this is probably not accurate, but better than nothing, right? So in that case, you can start to identify, okay, which zones actually have frequent accidents. Okay. With that, you probably want to create a strategy to improve the road design, probably install a traffic control device, or enhancing the enforcement in the area. Okay. Yeah. So also we can also assess the potential risk. So what is the hazard? Okay. Or evaluating the livelihood, consequences, and maybe create some strategies to mitigate and to manage this risk of accidents. We can check the potential conflicts, right? So then from that potential conflicts, we can see that, oh, this intersection is more prone to accident than the others before accident happens. So this is usually you do optimization or measure after, right? So we can also do preventive maintenance, not just curative, meaning after have problems. So this is interesting. Yeah. And other things is about land use and development. Okay, so we discussed last time in other course. Yeah? So the relationship between transportation and land use is very crucial. Okay, because of the land use pattern that change. Okay, then transportation will change, activity will change. Okay, because of activity change, then the transportation pattern will change. Okay, so in that case, the goal in land use development is to promote compact city, mixed land use. Okay, and of course to reduce the reliance on private vehicles. Okay, so this is important. 150 years ago, there was a proposal that we want to separate the land use, right? Oh, this is only residential, this is for office only. Remember that. Okay, the book name is Traffic in Town. Yeah? So nowadays, the science have proven that mixed land use, before that, yeah, it was mixed land use. I think mixed land use is more adequate than separate land use. Wait a minute, I will open the line. Sorry, the line was automatically closed in the office. Okay, so again, urban planning in the past, thinking that we want to spread the city. Okay, but nowadays we know compact city is actually better than urban sprawl. Okay, so again, the potential is promoting compact city. Okay, mixed land use and reducing the reliance on private vehicles. That means transit oriented or walkway or cycling. Okay. And in terms of operational efficiency, you want to ensure, okay, the effective and reliable transportation service. Right? So in this case, travel time, capacity, interconnectivity, yeah, and the ability to accommodate the future growth. Yeah. There is a possibility of changing travel pattern as well. Yeah. So with this, as you mentioned earlier, okay, there is possibility of ITS, okay, intelligent transportation system, and so on. So this probably one of the part that you want to discuss. No? So in this example, okay, say in a region with multiple transit agencies, okay, so each of these agency may be interdependent, might independently share a fare and schedule to maximize their own leadership. Yeah. However, because they are uh, different agencies, right? This can, because uncoordinated schedule or coordinated fare, this creates suboptimal outcomes. Okay, so then if you use game theory, okay, then you can start to think, okay, how to develop a strategy so that they can cooperate. Yeah, one part of game theory is assumption that everyone is selfish. Okay, everyone has self-interest, and it is very interesting that by assuming everyone has self-interest, we can guide them to cooperate. We can guide them to be trustable because they are selfish. If they are not selfish, they probably cannot be trustable. This is interesting, right? So again, this is just mathematics. Okay, you can start to study about this, but you can start to see, oh, with the assumption of self-interest, selfish, okay, people can cooperate. How? Isn't it interesting? Okay, so this is what we will discuss this semester. Okay, so again, the same thing. Yeah, considering two neighboring cities, deciding to invest in the shared airport. Yeah, each city, of course, prefer the other to pay for the investment. The same. Yeah, your agency prefer the other agency to pay for this right in infrastructure. So then you start to think in terms of strategy. Okay, how to make them cooperate. This is interesting. Okay. And the last part is stakeholder engagement, because public participation that we discussed a while ago. Yeah? How we can incorporate diverse perspective of stakeholders, okay, in decision making. How can we reach consensus? Okay, there are tools available. Okay, this is called group decision making in game theory, and there are several Nobel Prize winners in this. Yeah, you can search. Okay, there are several Nobel Prize winners in these tools of game theory in group decision making, yeah, including Arrow. Yeah. Arrow for Arrow impossibility theorem. So it's interesting. Yeah. Yeah, so by presenting the data, okay, analysis and finding of the planner, okay, we can facilitate discussion, okay, with the committee member, the policymaker, and other stakeholder. Then you can listen. Okay? You understand their perspective, okay, isn't it? We can understand their priority, their concern, and then we put this as an input into what is your project, so that it will align with the needs of the community. We don't develop project just for the sake of the project. Remember, the project should be the sake of the benefit of the community. Okay. So aside from dealing directly with the people, you can also create survey. Okay? So community workshop, focus group discussion, or public meeting. Sometimes online engagement is also possible to do that kind of dialogue. Okay. So I hope you can start to think about collaborative planning. Right? So coordination between agencies, community organization, and advocacy groups. Okay. So especially to address the need of all stakeholders, particularly the marginalized community. I remember we have meetings in Quezon City, and each of the participants are pointing fingers to the other. Okay, so DPWH pointing finger to the Quezon City government, and then pointing fingers to the MMDA and BWS again, and so on, so in circle, and eventually cannot make any decision. So coordination is really a big problem here. Yeah. So with this, I want you to have feedback, probably a discussion. Yeah, for transportation decision making. This is just an introduction about what we will discuss. So next meeting, we'll discuss prioritization. Okay, you can read the slide first, and then we can discuss starting with financial analysis. Okay. Yeah. So, anything to what did you learn today? Okay, tell me. Give me feedback before we close. Anyone? Oh, hungry already. Okay. Yeah. Okay. So thank you. Thank you for today. Okay. See you next week then. Yeah.
Prof, sorry.
Yes, Abby.
I have a question regarding the for the next week's meeting. Are we supposed to discuss to you our potential topics like what we did
Yes.
last
Yes,
semester?
please. Can you after this, can you discuss among yourself who will you form a group today?
Okay.
Okay. And then next week, can you show me what will be your topic? Yeah. Tentative is fine, no problem.
Tentative.
Yeah. But the grouping is permanent.
Okay, sir.
Okay. Topic can be changed later, no problem. You can present 3 topics as well, and then we can discuss. Okay. Okay. So thank you very much.
Yes, sir.
Thank you.
Bye bye.
Thank you for
Thank-
Prof.
Thank you, Prof. Good night.
Thank you.
Sir.
Good night. Yes.
Thank you. Good night.
Bye bye.